rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Good morning. Welcome to Get It Right Texoma.
Good morning.
And I'm Terry, and this is the trio, and I'm Terry.
I'm Trey, and this is
There's
our
Mike
right here.
All
our
right.
buddy Mike, our podcast partner in the sky.
There we go.
Still miss that guy.
I know.
This is a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing this because this was always something I really enjoyed doing with you guys. But it's still, it's like anything else. Time heals a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
But especially when we come in here and I look at his picture up there and stuff, and especially when we open the show, it still goes. You get that little twinge in your heart a little bit of like,
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm always thinking about this and that. I mean, it's just sort of, part of life. He was part of our life,
Yeah,
and so,
absolutely, yeah.
All right. And good part of it.
Good part, yeah.
Not a negative part.
Yeah.
Because we got that too, but oh well. Anyway, so we go live every Friday morning.
That's right.
At 7:30. And
we're bringing a guest at 8 o'clock. And
That's
speaking
right.
of guests, we're booked out right now. This is no joke. Every week in August, every week in September, and now at least 2 weeks in October, maybe 3 weeks in October. I mean,
yeah,
we're not booked all the way out to November, but within about 2 weeks, I think we'll be booked all the way through November.
Yep. We got a couple little special episodes coming up too.
Yeah,
that we're
planning. Because I've actually got some. I've got guests that are trying to get them booked. So we should be booked up through November within a couple of weeks.
All right, and these will be out of cycle specials.
Yes.
And back to back almost, within a few days of each other, and we'll talk more about that later. But anyway, we go live on Facebook and YouTube. Facebook only stays around for about 30 days, so our permanent archive is at YouTube.
And I would recommend go check him out. I mean, there's a lot of good information, but
local,
fun.
Yeah, local stuff.
You go back and you can look at it and see. Oh, well, they interviewed Mayor Tim Short a year and a half ago.
Yep.
And what was going on there compared to what's going on now and all that is kind of an interesting little thing to.
Yeah, you look at historically, kind of. Yeah, there you go. So please comment and share and like and do all that to hit the bells and whistles and.
That's right. Subscribe is the big thing.
Yeah.
Because that way you at least know when something's coming up and it's a reminder.
Yep. And this is Get It Right Texoma, and we've got our guest today is going to be Brad Rogers.
Brad Rogers is going to be in.
I'll probably know him as a car salesman.
He's been in the car business
and all
for
kinds
a
of
long
other
time,
things.
But he's got a new venture that's going to look towards the future of Wichita Falls.
Yep.
Let's just tease it there.
There you go. All right. So what do we got here on the first thing after that?
Local restaurant focus. This has been one of my favorites for decades. Literally decades. Yes.
Decades.
The Chicken Box.
Chicken Box.
Yeah, they've been around a long time in Wichita Falls. They've had a couple of locations. Now, the location I went to more when I was younger was not their location now. This is on 9th Street, and it's been there for right over by where Luby's used to be.
Right.
Been there for a long, long time. But they had a location on East Side Drive for years, Martin Luther King Boulevard now, but it was East Side Drive. And a friend of mine had a pecan orchard out off River Road. And so after football practice sometimes, I would leave, go by the Chicken Box, grab some food, and then go out to the pecan orchard. And my favorite, I was 2 breast, tots, and a Big Red. That was my go-to at the Chicken Box.
Oh, Big Red?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. That's unusual to find that at
Big
an
Red.
offering. All
Big
right.
Red. Yep, absolutely. Great chicken. They've got gizzards. If you're into all that stuff, now I'm not into the gizzards and livers and all that, but if you're into them, they've got them.
Yeah.
But they've got fabulous chicken. Their recipe is so good. They've got good, juicy, crispy chicken. They have all kinds of stuff. To me, my favorite thing is they've got a dip. And if you like spicy, get things dipped. And you can get any of the chicken dipped. And it's a jalapeno sauce and a jalapeno juice. And it's one of those deals, depending on how long ago it was made is how hot it is.
Right.
Like when it's very freshly made, that stuff is blistering hot.
Oh yeah.
By the time it's had a bunch of chicken dipped in it or not, it's not as bad, but it's still really good. But it has a very unique flavor. But good local people, they've been there a long time. I think they do turkeys at Thanksgiving and Christmas and that sort of thing. Yeah. They just do a lot of things, but The Chicken Box, they've been there a long time. They're a local institution.
Yeah, they're at, 901 Denver?
Which is they're on 9th Street.
9th Street, right.
Yeah, they're at the corner of 9th and Denver.
Okay.
So, yeah, because if you go to Denver and you're trying to figure that out, but 9th Street is the easiest. You could drive down 9th Street.
Every day, 7:30 except for Sunday.
That's right. So you can lunch and dinner.
Yep. And
basically right down the road from like used to be Luby's or Walgreens. Walgreens is there on the corner. They're just go down the same side of the road as Walgreens.
All right, the Chicken Box.
The Chicken Box, and be sure to, like I said, if you like spicy, be sure to get it dipped because that is.
Yep. Tell them that we sent you. You won't get anything, but
just,
like Mikey said, we don't get anything. But hey, tell them.
Just let them know. But Chicken Box, go check them out. Good local restaurant. Been around here for decades. I don't know how long that the business has been there, but it's a long time.
It's a long.
Like I said, in high school, I used to stop there.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's really long.
Well, it would have been, I graduated in 1990. It would have been probably 1988, 1989, 1990.
Since then.
Yeah, and they were there then, and on the east side is where I used to stop by all the time.
All right. So, what do we got going?
Well, the Wichita Falls Gun Show, it's actually the Burkburnett Bullet.
Burkburnett.
You got a
Bullet,
picture. There you go. Okay.
That
was the original Wichita Falls Gun Show that was in Wichita Falls forever. Joe Tom White, Mike Rucker. Of course, Joe Tom is gone. Mike Rucker is still there, was part of it, worked with Joe Tom for a long time, and now he and his wife Cherie own the gun show. They've moved it to Burkburnett, and that's where it is at the community center in Burkburnett on Davie Drive.
Yep.
Right over by the high school.
Okay.
And let me tell you, this is a great gun show. It's a smaller space than the MPEG was, but the vendors, it's sold out. They sell out almost like as soon as the gun show ends. The vendors are so happy with it, they re-up for the next gun show. That's pretty amazing.
Right.
I think they do 4 a year, but it's going on this weekend, tomorrow, from 9 to 5, and 10 to 3 on Saturday. So if you're on Sunday, I'm sorry. So if you're a vendor, you're SOL. But if you are interested in going to a gun show, there's a lot of things. There's more than guns at a gun show.
Yep.
Go check them out. Mike and Cherie, of course, really good people. It's a very well-run show. They try to have good, high-quality vendors in there. Yep. And that's a nice thing. You are more limited on your vendors when you have a smaller facility, but the good thing is you can pick and choose and make sure you get the right vendors in there.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just trying to, everybody who shows up, you're not desperate to try to fill a table.
Right.
You're making sure you have your good, high-quality vendors who've been there for a long time. But guns, knives, ammunition, gun parts, but then they've got food and jewelry and Laffy Taffy and all kinds of stuff like that.
Burkburnett Bullet Gun Show.
The Burkburnett Bullet Gun Show. There's a picture of it right there. It's kind of a really cool, I like their logo.
That bulldog with the rifle. All right. Well, good.
Go check them out.
All right. So what else we got coming up here?
Man, the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, have gained a lot of, I don't know they've gained a lot of traction. They have in small areas, but they made a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Now, that's the thing about it. But you have to be careful because Hitler made a lot of noise, and then what happened? I mean, at first he was just some little weird guy who had been in prison and got out and hit Germany at what we could say the wrong time, right time for them. They were reeling, they were struggling financially. We're not, but for some reason social media. Oh, yeah. Things like this are harder to get going in the a long time ago when you had newspapers and stuff like that. But social media, anybody can be anywhere. I don't know how many people are part of the DSA. I guess the number one or the biggest name is Mondani, who's the mayor of New York.
Oh, is he part of?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a Democrat socialist. And then they've won several. They're kind of making a big deal. We're winning all over. Well, they're really not. They're winning, and they're winning some races. But basically, what they're doing is they're going to pretty blue areas and turning them more blue. It's not like they're going and beating even moderate Democrats. They're right. Places that people are already going to vote Democrat. So if you'll pull up their platform a little. Well, you had their platform.
I do. I got that. No, I was just bringing up their website too. But
so
anyway.
Here's their platform. First off, if you look at it, it is very reminiscent of communism and socialism propaganda. But real quick, let's go through and just hit a few of those This is they call it a pro. See, once again, workers deserve more and all that, which, look, we're all workers, Terry and I, we're both workers. We believe in workers' rights and all that, but workers aren't supplying the wages for jobs. You have to have the people who own the companies, or the business own the companies. Otherwise, you have no workers because there's nothing to do.
Well, there's several things about that too. Is that the businesses? So the government it makes jobs. There are jobs within the government,
but they don't make money. The government doesn't produce anything.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, yes, there are salaries and everything, but where does that money come from? That comes from the taxpayers.
That's my point. Yeah, there are jobs the government has.
And you can't cycle that very long before you run. I mean, you have no. It doesn't work.
You run out of other people's money.
Right, and then so businesses, the free enterprise system, capitalism, gives the opportunity for somebody to go out and earn something
that's not government produced.
Now, I think there's a fair amount. There's a good amount, if you will, from our perspective, that the government has some purpose in that. Not heavy-handed, but more of create the environment. There is some protections that need to be done. There's some public good that it can do.
Yeah.
And that's the argument there, I think, really, ultimately. But if you go pure socialism, then it's owned by the state and even businesses, and you either have a Chinese style where they obviously do well, but you're under heavy handed.
But they're capitalists as well. They're from the socialist. They're from a non-economic standpoint. They're socialist. From an economic standpoint, they're capitalists.
Right, and they're the extreme on both ends of that. But it's still controlled by the government.
It's controlled by the government, but it is free enterprise.
It is, but
it is free enterprise in the sense that the government controls it. They don't run the businesses.
No, they might have some, but they have ownership.
For the most part, they have ownership, but they don't. They're not out there every day telling the CEOs how to do everything. They're saying go make money for us,
right?
Basically,
and
so they're running a capitalist.
But what we're talking about here is that there's more heavy-handed, putting all these extra protections.
Let's just go through here. It's not just So we'll scroll through. They go to their big things. This is their platform. Okay, so keep going. I think there's some things that stand out. Keep going. Okay, here we go. Start going up. Okay, so
Medicare for all.
Medicare for all. Okay, so Medicare doesn't make anything.
Right.
So now what we're saying is the government. So this is saying that everybody in the not only that are citizens that are paying into the taxes, but also people who just got here, they all get Medicare.
The entire and
everybody who's in the borders. Okay, in the war on drugs. Okay, I think the war. Well, I do think that the war on drugs has been overblown. There have been some issues on that.
The subtext says treat drug addiction as a health issue, not a criminal one. So they're basically saying, hey, but how?
I don't disagree with that. It is a health issue and a criminal one.
But it's on the distribution side, though.
I agree.
They're probably not taking too much of it.
I think they need to. I think we still need to focus hard on the distribution side, but look more towards the
demand,
addicts.
Right? The demand.
The addicts and why they're there and everything. So I don't think that this is so far out of line. There's some good could be there. Fight mass incarceration
and
police brutality. Okay, I'm not for mass incarceration. Most people aren't, and nobody's for police brutality.
No.
But to say as part of your platform, what you're assuming is there's this massive police brutality.
Right.
There is not.
Right.
By the way,
and every instance where I'm going to say violence has had to be used by the police is not wrong. It's a protective measure. They have two responsibilities, and they do what they can to protect themselves. So they learn techniques and things that on the surface look like abuse if you don't know the whole situation. But if you're fighting being arrested, expect some level to be escalated. They're trained to de-escalate, but some cops get it wrong.
That's true. There's no doubt. There's no doubt there is some police brutality in our country. There's no doubt. But it's human
not
nature.
as widespread
It's
as-
not very widespread, and generally, most of the people then you hear about the cop shot somebody. Okay, what were the circumstances?
Yep.
Was that somebody who was just literally walking down the street and the cop shot him? It does happen.
Yep.
And those police, they need to be like 30 days in the electric chair. If you kill somebody or you harm somebody in the line of duty and you were found that you were doing it and it was malicious or negligent, yes, it should be really bad on you. Okay?
Absolutely.
But most of them, when you bore it out, when you get all the facts, it's really, that person was fighting the cops. Okay, well, what do you expect?
Yeah.
And by the way, quit looking at police necessarily as saying, call them quote unquote police. Look at it as a person with a gun.
Right.
If Terry had a gun and he told you to do something and you thought he might shoot you, would you do it? I would say most people would. Or would you try to fight the guy?
Right.
He's a guy. They are people with guns. So just take them at that. College for all, yeah, once again, who's going to pay for it?
Right.
And by the way, who not everybody wants to go to college. Housing for all, another thing. Yeah, great. Who's going to pay for it? Okay? What is the underlying? I can't read it. What's the underlying for the housing for all?
Housing for all. Establish universal rent control
Yeah.
and the guaranteed right to counsel for all tenants. Public investment is building quality multi-income social housing. So
Right.
that's
So basically what they're saying is if you own a building and you're in it to make money, they're going to tell you how much money you can make. Once again, government control. And look, I think there is a problem. What do you
don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. I think there is a problem with some of the housing being unaffordable. I do think there are places that housing has been unaffordable. I think that there does need to be some control over some of these large corporations, investment firms that are going in and just buying up all these single-family homes. I do think there does need to be a level of regulation there. Right. I mean, that's, the government has regulated industry for years to some degree. That's why we don't have pollution. One time, industry was, manufacturing, they were just dumping raw pollution into rivers and stuff.
Well,
they don't do that anymore because there's regulations. There needs to be some regulations that make common sense. But to tell somebody that you're going to tell them how much money they can make on a building they own, I don't necessarily know that I agree with that.
Right.
The other side of it is, and this is one that nobody wants to talk about, the price of housing, the price of rent that's gone through the roof. There's another underlying reason. Why is that? What has happened? What happened for about 3 years into this country that would have caused housing prices and rents going through the roof? More demand. How did the more demand come? Through the southern border.
Yeah.
When you put in a very short period of time.
Oh, sure.
That's why we have immigration and immigration laws that regulate the amount of people that come to America in a measured way that they get to come to this country. Also,
could it be improved? Yes.
It could be. Trust me, I got a whole thing on that.
I know.
but it is measured. And by the way, those people that come legally, they cannot come in off the system.
Right.
They cannot accept public assistance of any kind.
Right.
They No, they can't.
Well, I know.
They can't. If you come in here legally, you can't do it. No, they're not going to give you. Nobody's going to give you public assistance from legal. But the fact is, when you have 5, 10 million, I don't know what the number is, and nobody does.
Yeah.
Of illegal people coming into the border, those people got to sleep somewhere. Mm-hmm. And so all of a sudden now, and maybe they'll go in and maybe they'll put 10 people in a apartment or a house, but that raises the price because the demand goes up.
Oh yeah.
So anyhow,
I'll
go off that. Support working families.
Support expensive paid family leave for all.
Yeah, see,
expansive, not expensive.
Yeah.
Expansive family leave for all workers and free public universal child care and pre-K.
Yeah, okay. Once again, free. Nothing is fucking free. Somebody is paying for it somehow. Unless you're thinking that these child care workers are going to work for free, they're going to do this volunteer.
Yeah.
Somebody's paying for it. And the time off, that should not be government mandated. I'm okay with Like, think about it. If women take time off and say they're teachers, they don't get paid. That's not a paid vacation. That's not a paid leave because it's actually against the law because it's a gift of public funds. Okay? But if a company wants to give paid maternity leave or paid paternity leave, that's their right. Now, there is maternity leave. In other words, somebody can't lose their job because they go on maternity leave for a certain period of time.
Right.
But the company being compelled to pay them,
Yeah.
no.
No, I know.
Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep moving here.
All right, so got the next thing here.
Once again, very Lenin
This is
Stalin.
the economy, something about economy. All right, 32-hour work week. They want to cut 8 hours off the work.
But with no cut in pay.
With no reduction in pay.
So in other words, we're talking about basically a whole days of production going away.
Yeah.
That these businesses have to eat. Once again, who eats it? The business. And in the end, okay, let's just say this happens, Terry. Let's say MacTech Solutions, because if you cut a whole day,
I can't get the job done.
You can't get the
job
job
done. So I have
done.
to hire more people.
So you have to
if
hire
I'm
more people.
limited,
You have to hire more,
or it goes into overtime.
Right,
I'm sure.
Right. But
at 32 hours.
You have to hire more people. Okay. Those people are going to cost money, right? Because they want to get paid. So what do you have to do? You have to
raise prices.
That's exactly right.
Gee.
So who pays for it? The end consumer pays for it.
Well, here's the bigger picture, though. Sure, in order to continue the way I had been, I raise prices. But what happens when you raise prices? That lessens demand.
That's right.
Which then cycles around where I don't need as many people. So I'm going to lay people off. Who's then going to...
It's a nasty cycle. Let's go through the rest of our things.
Econ 101.
Yeah, we'll come back to. Let's pick this up next week because I'm going to start right here. Tax to rich, because I want to come with some stats on that.
Union power.
I am so sick and tired of people saying that the rich people don't pay their fair share.
Oh, I know.
That is such a load of bullshit.
And there's statistics, real numbers to show.
And we're going to bring them. We're going to bring them.
Okay.
We're going to have them.
All right, but union power.
Yeah. Look, I'm not against unions. I think there was a time in this country that unions were vital.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Because
and they had their purpose.
You had industry that was taking advantage of people.
Yep.
The problem is unions became their own industry.
Yep.
And now, this is completely off the top of my head, so do not hold me to this. And this was going back several years ago, but there was a story, and it kind of broke, and it was a big story, that General Motors, like $5,500 of a car, every vehicle that rode off the assembly line of General Motors went towards paying retirement and benefits for people who no longer even work for the company.
All right. Yeah.
Do the math on that. When you talk about why your pickup is $75,000 or $80,000 now, a base model pickup is $40,000. That's part of the reason.
Yeah.
Because unions became their own thing. All right. So we're going to stop this right here. We're going to keep talking about this. We're going to pick it up next week. There's a lot more to talk about, but we'll bring some statistics on the rich thing.
All right. Why didn't that switch back? Uh-oh. Oh,
Next
I know
up.
why. I know why. Because I'm in. There we go.
There you go. Ranch Roundup results. We talked about the Ranch Roundup. Of course, it's a big thing here. Big doings in Wichita Falls.
Okay.
The Waggoner Ranch, our local, right down the road in Vernon, the second largest ranch. I think it was the largest ranch. It may still be under one fence in Texas. The King Ranch is larger, but the King Ranch is more split up.
Right.
And so they placed first in the Texas Ranch Roundup. The Burns Ranch placed second, and the Tongue River Ranch placed third. So congratulations to all those.
Okay.
And then Ronnie Jackson, our U.S. Congressman from this district, and also guest of our show.
Yep.
Been on a couple of times. Officially announces his candidacy to serve as chairman of the House Armed Services Committee.
So they have a candidate within once he's already in.
Right. He's basically running to be the chair of the Armed Services Committee.
Okay.
Of course, let's just give everybody a little bit of background. He's a retired Rear Navy admiral. He was actually the White House physician.
Yep.
Because he is a doctor. He's a medical doctor.
From
Bush
through
Obama and then to Trump.
Yeah.
So he's been a White House physician for a long period of time right there.
Yep.
Yes. 25 years of service in the military.
Yep.
Currently serves on the committee as chair of Intelligence and Special Operations Subcommittee. and he served in the 13th Congressional District since November of 2020.
Okay.
So I really hope he gets this. The Armed Services Committee chair is a very powerful position. Now, I don't like the way it's set up. I'll be honest with you. I don't like the way that our congressional setup, and I don't like the way that our legislature committees are set up in Texas. They're too powerful.
Right.
They have too much power, and the chair has too much power. But the fact is, it is what it is. Yes, I want to change the system, but since we have the system we have,
that there is.
It would be nice to have somebody that we know that is on board with the military and being here at Shepherd Air Force Base. And of course, Ronnie is very involved in Shepherd.
Oh yeah.
Having somebody like this as chair of the Armed Services Committee cannot be bad for Wichita Falls. No. Cannot be bad for Shepherd Air Force Base. He's not the king. He would not have ultimate power, but he has a lot of influence.
Oh sure. Yep. Oh, there we go. All right.
And then lastly on our list here before Brad Rogers comes in, Congress, U.S. Democrat, U.S. Senate candidate James Tallarico. Yeah, challenged Republican nominee Ken Paxton to participate in 3 televised debates. I agree with him. And I as of now, I haven't heard whether Paxton has agreed to these debates. I would like to see Paxton agree to these debates. Yeah. And if he doesn't, I'm gonna be very critical of that. I'm not a huge Ken Paxton fan. No, I've said that over and over on here. But I'm damn sure not a James Tallarico fan. He is a weird cat.
Holding the nose, right?
Yeah, very socialist. I don't think he would be a very strong senator at all. I think he would just be a number, a cog in the wheel. He wouldn't be a John Fetterman who stands out and goes against the party or anything like that, or even a Bernie Sanders.
Damn.
Bernie Sanders stands out and goes against the party. He's not always been in lockstep with them. Yeah. Ted Cruz on the Republican side doesn't go in lockstep with the party all the time. So I think it's good to have some of these outliers. I don't think Tallarico is going to be in it, but I do hope that Ken Paxton does have the cojones to step up and agree to these televised debates.
Yeah. So, the more we know. Yeah.
So Brad Rogers was here.
Brad?
There he is. Come on down. I thought I saw him.
You're the next contestant. No. Come on down. We'll do this live. We just do a live switch over, and
it's a live transition.
A live transition.
The word transition used to mean something different. You got to be careful when you're saying transition these days. Especially a live transition.
All right, so we are now. You are on.
There we go. Got your name there. Oh, get the applause.
Oh yes, we got to do. But the camera's there.
I only have bad sides.
Yeah.
Step on up, get closer to that microphone.
Come on up and good sound.
You've been on microphone before.
Yeah.
So I gotta say my last name's spelled wrong.
Oh, it's D.
Yeah.
I can correct that.
Yes.
I can correct that.
I'm used to it though.
No.
Well, you have a name like Sarala. You don't think you get it spelled everything?
Sure.
It's crazy because I will tell people, spell your last name. Saralla. SAR. No, I said S. You heard me 2.5 seconds ago, or a second and a half ago, say SRA, but I understand it. Yeah. It doesn't look right.
The brain just doesn't
work.
There we
go. It's fixed.
There you go.
Yeah.
We have technology.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his first name was spelled wrong. Steve.
It's hard
Brad.
to screw that up.
Yeah.
Well, we even sounded it out, Rogers, when we were setting it up. But
that's my fault. I take responsibility. I should have spelled it right.
All right.
Anyhow, so Brad Rogers is with us. Brad is, of course, a man around town. You've seen him at a lot of places. Very involved in volunteer work, and was in the car business for many years here. And so now you're in advertising.
Well, I'm doing a lot of different things.
You're one of those. You got a lot of hands and a lot of power. But the biggest thing is you've got a big project going on right now that we want to talk to you about. That it actually has something to do with the future of Wichita Falls with all of this new construction that we have.
Yes.
So step on up to the microphone a little closer.
And scoot. Yeah. Sorry, we got to get you in there. I know. Go ahead.
Tell us a little bit about what the project is.
Okay. So we have a partner, first of all, Brandon Hay, and Brandon and I worked together in the car business for many years at Patterson's. So we got to know each other very well, and somebody that we both trust each other. So that's always the first part. Integral part, right, in forming a partnership.
Huge. It's huge.
So we've all done that wrong. right?
Yes.
I think I know I have.
Well, I was going to say, fortunately, I have not. My business partner has been great.
Oh, there, yeah.
But it does. But I know a lot that have gone wrong. And I say partner. I've been divorced, so I guess I have. I have done a partnership wrong. It just wasn't a business partnership.
That counts.
Yes. It does count. Yes. So, but yeah, you're right. When you do form a partnership, and the crazy thing about this is just a little advice from people if you are looking into a business venture or even a personal, but especially a business venture, you almost have to sit down with each other and be brutally honest. And you have to kind of go, I'm going to think of every way you can screw me, and you have to think of every way I can screw you. And you have to protect each other.
Yeah.
You have to protect each other from each other, because one thing that we all have great intentions, but things happen in people's lives that change them. Grief. People can lose a loved one and go into a spiral of grief. Mental illness can happen. A physical illness. I have a really close friend, one of my best friends ever, was in a car accident. And he was in the Air Force, was in a car accident, and he seemed to be okay. You know, he had a little problems with his neck and all that, did some rehab and all. About 6 months later, his wife called me and she said, "Hey, he's having a problem. What's going on?" So his long-term or short-term memory's gone, and he's become very angry. Turns out he had brain damage, and they didn't know. They did it when they scanned it. They didn't scan the base of his brain, and he actually had some brain damage on the base of his brain. So he became a different person due to a car accident. So I know that's a long-winded thing, but I'm just saying that does happen, and that's why when you form a partnership, you have to be very careful and understand that everything has to be in writing to make sure that if somebody has a life-changing event, that everybody is protected. And the business is protected, because that's important as well, because generally you're going to have employees, you're going to have people that rely on you, and they've got to make sure that that's solid. So anyhow, little business advice. There you go.
All right.
Oh, great.
So
great way to lead in, for sure. We're extremely excited about the project. It's something that, we've been hearing the scuttlebutt of data centers coming for, at least 3 years now. So, the one thing that I was on the Chamber of Commerce Economic Development when they were together, and the one thing that was constantly brought up was housing.
yeah.
And how are we going to facilitate all these construction workers?
They're saying 5,000 to 7,000 construction workers.
Yeah,
for 5 years or so,
and it could easily be longer.
Yeah, 5 to 10 years. Yeah,
right. So, and there could be additional data centers coming. As well. So, one of the things that I, have often kind of dreamed of, not really vocally, just in my head, is having an RV park.
And you actually were in the RV business for a period of time too. So you saw that part of the business, yeah.
And it's a lifestyle.
Yes, it is.
And then the unfortunate part, guys, is some people have to live in RVs these days, whether it be they get to retirement and they don't have enough money, or you can pay off a house, but you never pay off a house, right? You're going to have taxes and insurance through the duration, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't plan for all of that in retirement years. And a lot of people enjoy living in RVs and travel the country. So, there's a huge demand. I've yet to drive by very many RV parks throughout this part of Texas and see a lot of vacancies.
Well, not just a lot of vacancies. Because I'm an RV guy too. My wife and I we got a travel trailer about 10 years ago, and we've been gone over. You also don't see very many sad people at RV parks.
No, right.
It's usually pretty funny people. Now, the funny thing is, I'm 54 and my wife is 52, and even 10 years ago, we're always the young people there. I mean, there's usually people, especially if you're there on a weekend, you'll see young people. But if you're there on a Monday or a Tuesday,
yeah, right,
you're the young crowd. And like you said, there's a lifestyle. There's people actually who travel the country and will go to RV parks and basically work for their slot. They'll mow the grass, or there'll be a host,
right,
or there'll be a whatever. I know there's people who do that, and that's how they pay. Instead of paying cash for their rental of their space, they barter it in work.
It's funny you mentioned that. Somebody actually brought up several different social media pages where people are looking for other people, or people are looking for campsites to go to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and it's just amazing to read all the different scenarios and the different stories about these people, because they travel across the country, and during the wintertime they're in the south, and
Yep.
maybe vice versa during the summertime when it's cooler. So
Well, because owning an RV park is a 24/7, 365 thing.
yes,
If you have somebody there and something happens, there's got to be somebody there to take care of it because they're on your property.
Yeah.
So, so I know we're getting off on tangents, but that's part of what this show does. And so anyhow, so the RV park, this was a dream of yours. And so you and your partner have kind of tried to make this a reality, huh? Or has made this a reality.
yes, we after thinking about it for months and actually a couple of years, I decided it's time. And the closer we got to possible data center coming in, the more excited I got, and I started looking around, and I talked to a couple of different people as far as doing this with, and I feel like I went to the right person in the right time in his life, and which is important. Also, you got to have somebody that also has some time available, because it's going to take some time.
Yep.
And hopefully we find the right people to manage it and to work out there. But as a small business owner, a lot of times it's going to be you.
Yeah. You're going to be on the lawnmower sometime. Yeah.
And that's okay. I've already got one ready to go.
Yeah. Well, if yours ever breaks, you can go to Eddie Hill's Fun Cycles, 401 North Scott, downtown Wichita Falls. We have Hustler Zero Turn Mowers.
Yeah,
There you go.
All right.
Shameless plug.
So, all right. So what's it? So this opportunity so who's going to be staying there in your mind with the data center coming in? What's the what's it going to look like?
So electricians, plumbers, HVAC guys, supervisors for those various companies. I think it'll a wide range of, we've been to Abilene. We've talked to some of the larger RV parks there, not the ones that were created just for the overflow and the excess, but some of the ones that were there for a little while. We went and visited with them. And kind of what happens,
because this is a long-term plan for you. This isn't we're just going to build a little temporary spot for people to stick some RVs on. This is yes, it's going to be here for this reason, but we want this to continue on as a viable business.
Well, yeah,
absolutely. Yes, we want something at the end of the construction period, which who knows how long that's going to be. We want a nice RV park that's going to be able to accommodate folks in Wichita Falls and people traveling through.
So first, tell us where this is located.
So Rathgeber and 281.
Okay.
It is 6580 Old Jacksboro Highway. There is a mobile home. It's not necessarily a mobile home park, but there's mobile home residences right there on the corner.
Right.
We have 18.5 acres.
So it's a large site.
5 acres right behind the mobile home park, and then the other 13.5 is going towards the senior living area.
Okay.
Off Rathgeber Road.
So easy to get to. That is one thing that's pretty important for a park like this is easy access. Go ahead.
There it is. Where on the? I've got the pin right here. So where in relation to that pin is it?
Right there where your cursor is. Go up, see where the salt flats are. Right there where your cursor is.
Oh, right here?
That's Salt Flats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
And then it just kind of makes an L around the mobile homes.
Right there. Yeah, right.
So
That makes
right
sense. Yep, totally see it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right there.
Well, cool.
Yeah, that'll be very easy access. And like I said, that's important because, you do have some people that are pulling, 20-foot Airstreams, but then you also have some people that are pulling 40-foot travel trailers or bringing those huge motor coaches in and stuff like that.
So it's very fortunate as far as
there's the airport. Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. Okay.
Very fortunate as far as the placement for the going in entrance and exit, right? Because initially I looked at 6.5 acres, which was right behind that, which was right outside the city limits. And that's how I run across this property. I had the for sale sign on it because that 6.5 acres did not, you were actually be standing there or sitting there in traffic and backing traffic up with people coming in and out. But the beauty of where it is now, that's still Jacksboro Highway, and it's still two-way traffic right there. So we will have an emergency exit on Rathgeber Road, but that's basically only going to be an emergency
It's
exit.
egress. Yeah.
Yeah, because the city really frowned on having a lot more traffic on Rathgeber Road, and plus it's just too narrow of a road for RVs. As you know, pulling in and out with RVs, you need some space.
I've got a 40-foot rig. I know.
Yeah, you definitely do.
There are times that I've been places going, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to get in here. And then I go, how do people on a 45-foot rig get in here or something like that? So, yeah.
Well,
So what all amenities are you planning on? So this isn't going to be, you're not looking at doing a basic old regular RV park and with nothing there and a couple spots with dirt, gravel, and stuff like that. You're looking for something nice, right?
We started out as kind of simple, and it's grown.
Yeah. That's how it always happens, isn't it?
Yes.
What about this? It's the whatabouts or what ifs. Those are what get you.
Yeah, the more YouTube videos I watched on people that own and built RV parks, the more grand ideas I had. So, first of all, it's going to the name of it is Falls Ranch RV Resort. So,
Well, first off, it says resort in it, so it's got to be good.
yeah, you got to have some nice amenities, right? Some of those.
Yeah, if it shows up and it's a shithole and it says resort on the outside, they're not going to be happy.
No, not happy.
Yeah.
I've read some of those reviews on people that call them resorts, and
Yeah.
not exactly considered resorts by the occupants.
Yeah,
that's for
exactly.
Sure. No, we're going to do two different phases. First phase is going to be 61 sites and the clubhouse. The clubhouse is actually going to have a bar and grill in it. It's a 4,000 square foot clubhouse.
Oh, wow.
So pretty decent size. We'll have 4 private showers for the tenants. And that's one thing that kind of blew me away when people started telling me, we don't use the showers in RVs. We use the showers at the campgrounds. I was like, why?
Yeah.
But the more people I talked to, the more I understood. And plus, like you said, I was in the RV business for a little while, so I've seen the size of some of those showers.
Real quickly, I rented an RV in Europe, and as you can imagine, you don't get very big RVs in Europe, and we couldn't shower. We used the shower for our dirty laundry hamper, for because it was my wife and my 3 kids and I.
Oh well.
You know, my kids were all in college, so we were 5 adults in a 22-foot RV, and the shower was like one of those. You know, you walk in, it's a circle thing. You walk in and you pull it around you like this. Yeah, that was our RV hamper. We just used the showers at the campsites, and we got hotels occasionally and stuff like that. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So anyway, 4 private showers in the first phase, two separate restrooms, the bar and grill, and it's going to be set up kind of like a sports bar. We'll have multiple TVs in there. I mean, I'm excited to go up there on a Sunday afternoon and watch the Cowboys play, or the Chiefs. They're my backup team now, because with the Cowboys fan, you got to have a backup team, right?
Yeah, that's true. So now, is this bar and grill going to be accessible to anybody in the public?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it could just be a hangout spot for people. It doesn't have to be in the RV park. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. So we're excited about that. We'll have a dog park, pretty good size dog park. That'll be with phase 1. We're going to have a fishing pond. That'll be with phase 1. Although the fishing pond is going to be way back into phase 2 property. But let's see, what else?
So are you going to have 30 and 50 amp
Oh, yeah.
plug-ins?
50, 30, 20, all available, every site. Meters, electric meters on every site. Since in the beginning, it's going to be all construction workers.
Right.
So
how does that work? I'm just curious on the logistics of billing. Is that do you get real time?
Yes.
You'll be able to have real time information.
It'll be digital.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It'll be tracked digitally, so
Okay.
we won't have to go out there and read the meters at the end of the month. It'll all be done.
So they'll be your meters, not the meters not from the electric
Right.
company, because then it's okay.
Encore will provide multiple meters.
Oh,
Basically, I believe Encore will provide, kind of the way we're setting it up, is every 8 spots has a meter from Encore, and then we're going to have
You
the
sub meters. Yeah.
oh wow. Okay, interesting.
One of those fun, more expensive things in the park, but
Oh yeah.
electricity.
Well, absolutely. Well, and then you're going to pay, and then Encore is going to want to charge you a meter fee for every one of not Encore, but their retail electric provider. In
Yes.
Texas, we have that.
Yes.
So.
That's okay.
Yeah, but that's all part of the
It's
deal.
all part of it.
So as an RV, so are your sites going to be mix of pull-through back ends? Are they all going to be
Yes.
pull-throughs? Are going to be how long are you planning most of your sites to be and all that sort of thing?
45 and 55 foot. And,
Good size.
Yeah. We're going to have 48 back ends in the initial phase and 13 pull-throughs.
Uh-huh.
And then for second phase, it's kind of, I don't want to say how many because we've got it on the plans, but that
Right.
could change.
Sure,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
We'll kind
yeah,
of see how it works out there in phase one, and that's
Also see what your demand is.
right.
Yeah, if
100%.
you have a huge demand for pull-throughs, then you probably ought to put more pull-throughs
Yes,
in, right? Yeah.
exactly, and that's one of the purposes of building a phase one and then a phase two. We kind of
Can learn from the first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The nice thing about now, like going to state parks, they're nice. The bad thing about state parks are the roads are not really necessarily made for campers and RVs. And yes, you have the back ends places. There's been times I've had to go, hey, could y'all cut this tree limb? Because you're not supposed to cut a tree at the state park.
right.
So, or something like that, because you can't hardly get in. The nice thing about a place like this is you're starting from scratch. So the width of your roads, the angles of your back ends and all that, you can plan all that ahead to where you shouldn't have nobody who knows how to back a trailer should have any problems getting in or out.
Right. Now the entrance is 40 foot wide, and going in front of the clubhouse, it's 40 foot wide. And we talked about at a city meeting the other day, we need to have a little bit wider spaces for turnarounds for the fire truck, if that ever has to happen, to make sure they have easy access and to get through the park quickly.
So is it asphalt? Is that roads and
All
curbs
concrete.
and all? Oh,
Yes.
Wow.
oh, okay. Yeah, which I think long term, absolutely. But
Yes.
doggone that.
A lot of expense up front.
How much is concrete right now? Have you had a chance to?
We don't want to talk about this.
Let me hang on. Let me get my calculator.
No, I heard it was
A
dollar.
shitload is what it is. Is that fair enough?
I was just curious what the.
Let's
going-
just say it's twice as much as expected.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going in.
It's usually how construction works.
Jeez.
But which is nice. I've been to several RV parks that are really nice RV parks, and the roads are concrete or paved, but the sites are gravel. So when you do have once you're higher end park, it's nice to have that concrete to park your rig on.
Right.
Because when it's concrete, you can make it dead level. When you have gravel, you can make it level-ish, but there's always going to be compaction and stuff like that, so you can make it really a nice level spot.
Right. One of the things that we've done to kind of trim some of the cost of the concrete is we basically took an 8-foot strip down the middle, and it's going to be crushed granite.
Okay.
So RV will be able to pull on to 2-foot wide strips on the sides. The back and the front on the pull-throughs will be concrete, but the middle part and then the back ends, we also have a small portion of the back ends where it'll also be crushed granite. There's no reason once the wheels get set,
Exactly.
that space going back doesn't need to be
Doesn't
concrete.
be
as
concrete,
well.
yeah.
But we'll have some nice gray crushed granite, and we're gonna put down some heavy duty weed block before we put that down, so we don't have all the issues of weeds popping up. And there's going to be some.
Well, birds make people don't realize how many weeds birds deposit, because when they're flying over and they deposit, sometimes they deposit on top of a piece of gravel or a piece of concrete, or not concrete, but granite or something like that, something that porous, and a weed will grow.
Yeah.
Because it was a seed that came out of a bird.
Or a tree that you don't want.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
Especially after mesquites.
Yeah.
Mesquites can be very invasive. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Just let it go. Just have you a mesquite patch or someplace somewhere and let it go for a couple of years, and you'll find out how invasive mesquites can be.
I grew up in Snyder, Texas, so I understand mesquites.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So
That's all we had.
So what is your timeline to get this first phase going and finished?
We should be able to break ground the next couple of weeks, and I'm being told about 6 months, so probably looking at early 2027 at this point. And
So your initial customer on that, as far as once they get showing up and you're ready to go, they will be the construction workers. Are they bringing the smaller ones? We got the single people that are coming in because their family's off, or there's just I'm not single people, their family, married family man that's coming in for this project that goes home probably on weekends or whatever. So that's your demographic. Who is that? Who is that customer?
I think it's an assortment of all of them. Some bring their families.
Okay.
Some, I think most don't bring their families, but some of them literally travel around the country.
That's what that's their family lifestyle. Yeah.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
And,
Okay.
and working on the data centers or solar farms, and that's
Right.
you look at luxury Crossroads Luxury RV Park out there behind Cracker Barrel. You know, I talked to them quite a bit. Randy Funston and Randy and Dina and Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin's a great guy. I like
Yes,
Kevin a lot.
they've been nothing but helpful. I've gone out there many times looking at different things, talking to Kevin. I had a conversation with Randy a couple of weeks ago about the electrical process and you know what to expect and some of those types of things, and they've been nothing but helpful. But you know, they're full with long-term
Right.
30-day monthlies right now because of the solar farms.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And then they don't have any data center people. But I know for a fact that there's people working in Childress and Vernon that are renting homes here in Wichita Falls already that are working
Well,
there.
and Vernon's got their stuff going on too.
They do. And, of course,
So,
they're building
Archer
a
City.
huge man camp out there in the Vernon area for that, Oakland Union for that. But not everybody wants to live in a man camp.
That's
Right.
exactly what I was about to say. Yeah,
Not everybody wants to live in Vernon.
Yeah, or out in a field in Oakland Union.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, because that's a hydrogen plant. I think that's supposed to be going out in that direction,
There's yes.
or something along those lines.
Gas, I believe.
Yeah, but you're right. A man camp, they serve their purposes, and there's plenty of people that are fine, but not everybody wants to live out in the middle of nowhere.
No, you have to have those,
Yeah.
and I think it's probably the younger ones that live there that don't have the money to buy an RV to get started. But my gosh, I mean these guys get paid $100 to $150, maybe probably even more in certain positions just per day, per diem
Yeah,
for living expenses. So
you could buy you a pretty nice rig
you can,
Yeah. Oh,
if you just take $25-$30 a day.
yeah, if
Right.
you've got the credit.
That's true. Yeah.
That's kind of the only hang up there.
Sure. Yeah.
It requires a little bit better credit to buy an RV than it does a car.
Well, you can understand.
As you know.
Well, or even motorcycle, a side by side, anything
Right.
that's not
Yeah.
necessary.
If it's an extra.
Because you think about it. If things go south, the car is the last thing you're going to probably let go. In fact, I've heard that people will let their houses go before they let their car go, because they can rent a place or
Right.
go something else. But but a car, if you don't have a car, you can't get to work.
Right.
You can't
Right.
do anything.
Right.
Yeah, you're stuck.
Yeah, you're pretty much stuck. So,
right.
how have you found the city as far as receptiveness to this project overall?
You know, for the most part, it's all going extremely smooth.
Good.
I was definitely reluctant going in some of the stories, but
I think there's been a lot of changes.
there has been a lot of changes, and I feel like it's going a lot smoother. I'm not saying it's all roses and sunshine, but they have rules they have to go by.
Right.
And just like we all do in the workplace, we all have things we have to follow. So there's been some challenging parts to it, and you know we're going through a little thing right now that not saying it's not a big deal, but it's something we're gonna get around and move on down the road. So but they're very good working with us on these things.
That's good. Yeah, I think for years the city, and we've talked about this before, a lot of the workers that work for the city, they're good people, and they mean to do well, but they have rules. And then when you don't have competition, sometimes it makes complacency.
Right.
And we've talked about this with Tim Short. We've talked
yeah.
about this with Jeff Jenkins, the city manager. We've had these conversations, so it's not like we're just pulling this out of our ass because they're not here. We've had these conversations with them sitting in that chair right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's once again, it's not bad people. It's not people trying to do the wrong thing, but it's complacency knowing that Brad Rogers can't go to Burkburnett to pull permits to build his RV park in Wichita Falls. Right?
Correct.
But back when Brad was in the car business, you knew that when you, especially the Dodge, if somebody wanted to go buy a Dodge and you treated them like crap, or one of your people treated them like crap, it was pretty easy to go find another Dodge place.
Yes, most definitely.
So you had to. So in the private sector, tends to keep all of us a little bit more grounded, honest, and understanding that we have to provide customer service. Otherwise, we will no longer exist.
Right.
Absolutely.
But there's a culture been changed within the city
I think
that
there
makes
has.
it
I think
right.
there's been
And-
a huge culture
But
change.
you got to hold the people accountable for that kind of thing. Customer service needs to be measured, and it's the opinion of the quote customer. Now that doesn't mean the customer's always right. I'll tell you that, right? Anybody who's ever been in business, the customer is not always right. I throw that out of your vocabulary.
Yeah.
Now the customer's still the customer.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where
And their perception has their perception of their needs has to be met as best you can. What I've always said is the customer's not always right. You just need to be nice when you tell them they're not.
Yeah, there you go.
So you're got all the plans going and everything like that. So you're gonna break ground. You're gonna get going. What do you look to be your finish date? Your projected finish date?
Early
First move-in.
27.
Okay.
Early 27. So fairly
That's quick.
Yes.
soon.
But-
Of course, it's not like building a 15-story building. I mean,
No.
there's a lot of construction, but it's not the same as building a massive building and everything
Right.
like that. It's just a lot of more ground infrastructure.
And
that
and
sort of
the
thing.
clubhouse itself, even though it's pretty decent size, it'll be built. They'll be working on it at the same time they're working on the pad sites and pouring the concrete on everything. And and total build out. We hadn't talked about that yet, but what's on the plans? As long as that continues to be the plan, and we've made a few changes along the way, but 172 RV sites.
Wow.
A total build out, along with 10 to 12 tiny homes. Pretty excited about the tiny home aspect of it. And then we also have 14 tent camping spots.
That's good.
Oh, possibly for the Hotter Than Hell.
Yes.
Be a
Or
good-
just
or
people
anything
who
else,
just
right?
wanna-
But
and I think that's good because there are people who do want a tent camp, but they want a little bit of they want a shower, they want a place to go.
Right.
They're not out in the boonies.
Yep.
But they're not necessarily having to take up a RV spot to do it.
Right. And once we get phase 2 going, one of the things we'll be doing is renting out golf carts. I think a lot of people want to have a golf cart there to get back and forth to the clubhouse. And then we're not sure about a pool yet. That's something we're still kind of kicking around.
A lot of liability with pools.
There is insurance and liability with that. That's one of those things we kind of want to learn during the first phase. Is it something a lot of people want, need, have to have?
Right.
Maybe not even during the construction phase. Maybe we don't have it during the construction phase, but maybe that's something that we add, down the road.
By the way, side-by-sides that you could buy at Eddie Hill's Fun Cycles 401 North Scott, downtown Wichita Falls, are way cooler than golf carts.
Well, Trey, you just need to start selling golf carts too.
Yeah, well, okay.
They are legal in the city limits now, right?
So we're side-by-sides. I had to go fight city council for that one.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, not fight, but I had to go state my case.
Yeah.
And we got it done.
Yeah.
We got it done. So, yeah, that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay that people. It wasn't a big brouhaha. I went and stated my case, and the city councilors overall said, yeah, we agree with that. And the next meeting, they made it legal as well as for side by sides go.
Yeah,
as far as golf carts go.
I think we will allow side by sides and people's personal golf carts if they have one or they want to go buy one. I don't think that's going to be an issue as long as they adhere to the speed limit.
Have to be the rules. Yeah.
Yes, follow the rules. I mean, it's going to be a pretty large park at full build out, so we'll definitely have kids and we'll have some playground areas as well at phase 2. So, got to be responsible.
Exciting. And now, just out of curiosity, so is the largest RV park in town currently the one over by Walmart, Cracker Barrel?
They have 85 sites.
I was going to ask. So that's why I was just trying to get a perspective. So if you drive by there, that's 85 sites.
Yes.
And you're going to be at full capacity at what?
172.
Okay. Yeah. So you're going to be more than double, or right at double.
We will be the largest once it's fully built out.
Yeah.
But
it also gives you an idea of if you drive by and see their site, then go, okay, twice the size of this, roughly, plus a little bit more, because you're going to have more open areas and stuff like that as well. So.
And they have more land available over there that Randy owns that they've talked about expanding to another 85 sites. But last time I talked to him, I don't think that's the current plan.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. Wichita RV Park over on 5th Street.
They're big.
Yeah. I mean,
but you don't really see it. It's kind of hard to see it because it drops down over behind that hill and stuff like that.
It is. But not only that, is the last time I talked to the owner over there, which has been a couple of years, but they were somewhere between 80 and 90% full-time residents.
Right.
So they're not exactly a place for very many overnights.
No, they're more of a trailer park.
Yes.
I'm not being.
No, they used
funny.
to be a trailer park.
It was a trailer, but
Yeah,
you're
it
right.
was
It
trailer
was because
park.
when I was in high school, I had a couple of friends that lived in that trailer park.
When I moved here initially in 1990, good Lord, that's a long time ago.
That's why I graduated high school in 1990.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, anything else you want to tell us about this project? I think it's really exciting.
Yeah.
That's why we wanted to have you on. Plus, you're a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Or any other thing that you're working on, or any other organization you're working with, or anything like
Mascot?
that. Just get the word out.
Well, yes, I'm a mascot Shriner.
Yeah.
Have been
I just saw your shirt there.
since 2010.
Okay.
That's a great cause,
There's a secret handshake.
Yeah.
We we help raise money for the Shriners hospitals, and
Yeah.
and that's reason enough to get involved. So if you're a guy out in the Wichita Falls area or even in the surrounding area, there's several. You've got to be a mason first.
Yep. That's what I heard.
Yep.
By the way, both of my grandfathers were masons. One of them was a handshake mason, and one of them was a mason who put bricks on houses type mason.
Yeah. A lot of famous people have been masons.
Absolutely,
throughout
yeah.
the years. John Wayne was a mason.
Yep.
And I could go on and on about those.
Well,
guys.
a lot of our early founding fathers and stuff were masons and that sort of thing as
Right.
well. So.
And the great part about it is our wives are included in a lot of different things, so it's not just a guy's fraternity.
Right.
So
They had their wives and their girlfriends, but not at the same time. That on bump. That's my job, to be comic relief. Well, sounds good. Well, Brad, thank you very much for being
sir.
here. We appreciate it. And
Yeah. And so we'll be back here next Friday morning, 7:30.
yeah.
And
I know I spelled his name wrong, but I spelled it the way you say it.
Yeah.
We'll have it
because-
spelled right next week.
Yes.
But next week's guest is Scott Paynish.
you
Yes.
definitely need to get that spelling checked.
Yes,
No,
we
no, no,
will.
I-
Yeah.
That's what I said. I know for a
Phonetic.
fact it's spelled wrong. And I had that conversation with Terry
Yeah.
this morning. I said, I know it's spelled wrong, but that's how you say it. So I spelled
Yes.
it phonetically.
Yep.
And then tomorrow or next week, we'll have his name properly on there.
Yes,
'cause
we
you
will.
look at the actual spelling.
There ain't no way in hell you come
No
up with
way.
Paynish.
No.
Yeah, you talk about spelling your name wrong. He was in 4th grade before he knew how to spell his damn name, you know?
Yeah, no doubt.
So-
No doubt.
All right. Well, good deal. Well,
right,
thanks.
thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Please share this. Let everybody know we're here because we really need to get that word out because I think we've got a unique show here. Nobody else has 30 minutes at least with a
long time.
guest. And so we just want to let
32
everybody
minutes.
know. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, I know it goes by fast, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we are the only program that has long-term
long form.
long form interviews with people. We don't have commercial breaks that we have to worry about or all that sort of thing. And we are booked out. That's what I was telling
Yeah.
Terry earlier. We're booked out all the way into October, and we have 2 dates taken in October.
Yeah.
And then I've got 2 other people who were talking about coming in October. So you can't hear, and it's, we have people like you in. The mayor's going to be in. Scott Paynish is going to be in next week.
Yeah.
We're going to have Jenica Lambert.
Yeah.
We're going to have Gonzalo Robles for Café con Leche. He just signed up.
Yeah.
So it's a wide variety. It's not just city councilors, and we've had city councilors and the city manager and the hospital CEO.
Ronnie Jackson.
And Ronnie Jackson and James Frank and David Spiller both going to be on. But then we have people in the Arts Council, and so we try to have a wide variety, and nobody has what we have here.
We've got over 150 by now, or so. I don't even know how many. We got a good bank of them. So share it.
I will.
Let us know. All right.
Definitely will.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here, and we'll see you next week. And y'all have a great weekend, and don't get too hot. Anyway, like Mike always said, we will see you down the road.